A right person for a key seat a priori shares the core values of the enterprise. People often ask, how do you get people to share core values? And the answer is you don't. You can't install new core values in people. Instead, what you do is you find people who already have a predisposition to sharing the values. You create a culture that so systematically reinforces those values that those who do not share those values tend to be encircled and ejected like a virus. Number two, the right people understand that they don't have a job. They have responsibilities. And they can answer the question, I am the one person ultimately responsible for X or Y or Z. Now think about it as an air traffic controller, right? Doesn't have just a job, has a responsibility to keep the airplane safe. You think about a surgeon, doesn't just have a job to do cutting and sewing, but actually has a responsibility for the safety of the patient. And so when you think about this idea that the right people accept, I don't have a job, I have responsibilities. Number three, the right people do what they say they are going to do, period, full stop. And what this means is they're very careful what they say they are going to do. They don't just try to fulfill their commitments. They have a 100% hit rate at fulfilling their commitments or being explicitly absolved from a commitment. But they never view it as, well, I tried, but I didn't succeed. And they therefore have a great discipline to never commit to what they know they cannot achieve. Number four, the right people don't need to be tightly managed. The right people are self-disciplined, are self-motivated, are self-managed, are self-obsessively driven to make great results, are self-learners. And as we wrote in Good to Great, the moment that you begin to feel the need to tightly manage someone, you might have made a hiring mistake. Guide them, yes. Teach them, yes. Manage them? No. The right people have tremendous passion for the enterprise and what it's trying to do, for a very simple reason. Nothing great ever happens unless it is fueled by passion. And number six, the right people display a window and mirror maturity. Now, a window and mirror maturity means this. It means that when things go well, when there are successes, they're very comfortable pointing out the window to other people and to factors like luck and good circumstances that are out of their control and not taking the credit for themselves. And they want to pin the blame of success on other people. But when things go badly, they're very comfortable looking in the mirror and saying, I'm responsible. I'm the one ultimately responsible. Here's how I accept that responsibility, and here is what I learn from that. Those who do not have that window and mirror responsibility do not deserve the opportunity to be permanently in a key seat. So those are those key characteristics. What would make for right people in key seats? It's those six. I have a passionate love affair with data. I just love numbers and graphs and Excel sheets and calculations and anything where we can marshal lots of data and statistics, and it just makes me happy. And one of the things that we did was to look at an analysis that had tons of data, 50 years of proxy reports. A member of my research team named Eric Hagan, who was a remarkable researcher back when he was on my team, did this analysis where he looked at members and key seats on the executive teams over 50 years in the good to great companies and the comparisons. And then he looked at their tenure on the team. And what he found is that as a company became great, there was kind of a bimodal distribution in terms of how long someone was on the team in a key seat. By bimodal, I mean that there were a bunch of people who were there, say, only a year. And then there were a bunch of people that were there for a very long time, maybe 10 or 15 or 20 years. And what that says is that the ones who were there, say, only a year, they were a mistake. And even the best executives that we studied, the best leaders that we studied, they made mistakes in selecting. But what they had was the discipline to correct a mistake quickly once they had made it. The second is they had the discipline to perpetuate their good decisions for a very long time. And it leads to a really key point, which is How do you know that you have one of these right people for a key seat? How do you know that someone is going to be one of those good decisions you want to perpetuate for a long time? How do you know? You don't know until you have empirical experience with the person, until you've worked with them, until you've seen them under pressure, until you've seen them when things go badly, until you've seen how they manage commitments. And what that means is there's no way to just go out and know for certain that you're going to find all of these people. You have to bring people in, test them, put them under fire, see how they do, and then make very rigorous decisions based upon how you see them actually perform when you're up close, personal, under duress. Dale Gifford, chief executive of Hewitt Associates, had a wonderful framework that he suggested for this, and it's very compatible with our research. That framework, think of it as sort of three levels: values, will, and skills. Right? And when you look at someone, what he suggested, and this is very consistent the way our executives manage, at the lower level, skills level, you ask yourself the question, do I have a skills issue here? Is it something where they just need to learn, they need to develop in the role, they can grow into it? And then we can be really quite patient, or more patient, because skills are an acquirable thing. We can develop them, we can learn, we can grow. The next level up is will. Well, maybe the reason they don't have the skills, they don't have that kind of burning, compulsive, passionate, obsessive need to do something great, to do great work. Maybe they just don't have the will. They don't have the motivation. They're not self-motivated. So then the question is, well, maybe it's something I'm doing as a leader and as a manager that's demotivating them, or maybe I have them in the wrong seat or something. But the real question is, can I address the will question? Be a little less patient there. Then there's the values level. And ask the question, well, wait a minute, maybe we have a values issue. Maybe it's just a values misfit. And there's no compromise. Because a great enterprise has to have people who fit with the core values. So think of it as, how patient do you want to be? Values, will, or skills?